This is part 1 of Tinker Saves the Day. It was a very hot July morning, and in the squirrel's tray a handsome baby squirrel had just been born. His eyes were still shut, and he was completely bald, and he was very pink. His mother and father were very proud parents, and their young squirrel would wean in 10 weeks. They could not decide what to call him. No name they thought of really seemed to suit him. He was very mischievous, would not sleep when he was supposed to. He was messy, and when his parents wanted quiet times, that's when he was singing the loudest. Although he was mischievous, his parents loved him. One particular day he had been quite naughty, and then his mother said it. I have it. I know what we call him. What? Asked Father Squirrel. I think his name should be Tinker. Well, Father Squirrel agreed. It certainly suited him, so that was that. It was decided his name was to be Tinker. His eyes are now open, and he has tufts of fur growing. He put his head out of the dray once and thought it looked jolly exciting out there. All different smells and noises, funny-looking animals. He couldn't wait to venture out there. Hooray, at last the day had come. He ventured out with his parents. Of course, Tinker wanted to run off and do his own thing. But his parents had other ideas. They wanted to teach him what was safe to eat, which animals were friendly, and which were not. At first he didn't listen. He found it all very boring. However, he soon learned that when he did listen to his parents, they would finish his lessons early, and then it was playtime. Tinker was so happy and found life of a squirrel to be jolly good. He made friends with a rat, and another family of squirrels whose dray wasn't too far away. His friend Zack was born in February, so he was older than Tinker. Tinker's mother found him to be quite wise for his age, and she was pleased they were friends. He would be a good influence on their son. Zack would tell Tinker stories of when he was born and how cold it was. Tinker didn't like to hear about the winter. It was beautiful weather when Tinker was born in the summer. He couldn't imagine being so cold. They were walking about gathering the food for winter, and Tinker could not understand. Zack, why do we bury our nuts, acorns, sweet chestnuts? Well, all of our food in lots of different places. Wouldn't it make more sense to just put it in one large hole? Yes, that would be much easier, Tinker thought to himself. Zack tried to explain to his young friend. Sometimes other squirrels or creatures may find our stash of food and steal it. Or we may not find it again, or there may be a flood and that would wash it all away or ruin it. So if we have our food stashed in lots of places, we won't go hungry. Oh, said Tinker, I see. He sort of understood, but at the same time thought he was right too. Just then, quickly hid in the bushes, they heard 2 humans talking with raised voices. Tinker's parents had told him to be careful. You cannot trust all humans. Some people did not like squirrels and called them vermin. Zack said, We're all right, they can't see us. Oh, shh, they're right there, pointing through the hedge. Well, it's a crying shame to lose these woods. I never thought the council would agree. I know, 20 acres just lost, said the other man. And yet another road. When will they start work then? They say the trees are coming down from Saturday. Zack and Tinker could not hear any more as the men walked out of earshot. Tinker and Zack looked at each other. Zack seemed surprisingly calm. Tinker wasn't feeling calm at all. He was worried. That means our homes will go, Zack. Zack said, Don't worry, Tinker. I've heard my parents talk about this for months. Dad says it won't happen. These woods have been here for years. Tinker didn't feel reassured. They decided they would tell their parents. Zack's father seemed quite stern. He was kindly squirrel, but he didn't joke and play with the boys like Tinker's dad. They had a meeting in Zack's dray as it was a lot larger. Tinker's parents were very worried, and they thought they should all leave straight away. I think we should go to Mighty Oak. He'll know what to do, said Tinker's mother. Well, you must do what you must do, but I'm staying here. It won't happen. I agree with Dad, said Zack. Poor Zack's mother didn't get a say in the matter. Well, if you're sure it won't happen, Stuart, then I'll keep my family here too, said Tinker's father. Tinker and his mother looked very worried. Zack and Tinker carried on playing their games. After Tinker's lessons were over, everything seemed the same for the past couple of days. However, this Thursday, it felt different. Tinker finished his lessons and they were going to start a game of hide and seek, when all of a sudden there was a really loud noise and the ground started to shake. There was a lot of loud talking. It sounded like it was men talking. It seemed to go on for ages, and loud crashes and bangs, and it felt like the earth was moving. After about 2 hours, it went quiet. Zack and Tinker leapt through the trees to where the noise had come from. They had to find out what it was all about. They leapt to one more tree, came to a clearing. There were great big machines that they'd never seen before, and one of these machines had like a great big bucket at the front. There was a strange long oblong building with glass holes, and they had to see inside, but how? Then Zack said, "Follow me." He leapt from the tree to the bucket thing, ran across the metal bar onto the cabin of this big machine. He looked in the glass box. "That's funny, look, that's funny. It looks like a car inside. It's got a steering wheel." "What's a car?" Tinker shouted from the tree. "I'll tell you later. Come on, jump over. Follow my path." "All right, Zack." He jumped the same path as Zack and reached the box of the machine. Both squirrels then did a giant leap to reach the top of the long oblong building. When they made it to the roof, Tinker said, "Zack, what is a car?" "Later, Tinker," said Zack, sounding annoyed. "Look, if we hold each other's legs, we can lean over and look through the glass." Zack went first. Tinker held on to his back legs, and Zack reached over the building. "Don't drop me, Tinker, please. Promise." "I won't, I promise." It was hard to hold on to Zack. Tinker was smaller and not as strong yet. "What do you see, Zack?" "There's lots of men's uniforms, yellow uniforms, a lot of equipment. There's funny-looking things, but I don't know what they are." Tinker said, my turn, let me see." "All right, Tinker, pull me back up." "Okay." He pulled him back up, and his little arms were aching so. Now it was his turn. He was in such a hurry, he leapt over the window, hardly giving Zack a chance to grab his legs. "Tinker, will you be careful?" Zack snapped. Tinker was looking, and he saw the uniforms, he saw lockers, oh no, he spotted the long thing Zack spoke about. "Pull me up, Zack." Zack pulled his young friend up. He didn't like the look on his face. He'd never seen him look so serious before. "What's the matter?" "Those long things you saw, Zack." "Yeah." "Did they have like metal teeth on them?" "Yes," said Zack. "Why?" "I know what they are. They call them saws. My father told me a story about my granddad, and they cut down his tree." Zack said, "Oh gosh, that means it's true. They're going to put a road through. We'll have to tell our parents. We'll just have to leave our homes." "Yes," Tinker said, "but it's not just us, is it? There's no time. There's hundreds to tell. Our friends, the rats, the mice, foxes, badgers, bats in the fir trees, all the birds, insects." "Listen, Tinker, there's no time. We have to go, Tinker." Tinker suddenly remembered his mother mentioned a mighty oak tree. "Zack, who is Mighty Oak?" "My mother said he would know what to do." "Oh, Mighty Oak. Oh, he's one of the oldest oak trees around. He's very wise. He lives quite away from here. In fact, I'm sure once, years ago, we were all in the same woods. My dad says the park and the road were built illegally. It's going to be dark soon. We shouldn't even be out. We never go out at night. There's too many dangers. Come on, Tinker." "You tell our parents, Zack. I will go to see Mighty Oak. I won't be long." And before Zack could stop him, Tinker had leapt off the back of the building and disappeared.